Good morning, everyone. How are you guys doing? If you guys are just tuning in, it's Monday. It is June 8th. And what I wanted to do is, well, first off, say happy Monday. Hopefully your day is, has started off on the right foot in the midst of all of this craziness that's going on in the world, and trying to stay positive. And today, hopefully, by you guys showing up and being here, we're all going to try to be positive together and try to learn something, whether that's in what's happening in the world or if it's, I don't know, maybe content, something about content that can drive traffic. We could talk about that too. So let's go ahead and see who's showing up here today in this, this Monday Take Action morning show, which is really your daily dose to get out there and learn something and then take action on something as well. So guys, if you'll do me a favor, just put it in the comments. Let me know that you guys are there. Let me know that you guys can see and hear me. We've got Justin says, morning crew. Morning, Justin, all the way from Australia. What's up? Kate's in the house. What's up, Kate? Good morning to you as well. Karen, good morning. Yes, it is Monday. Let's see here. Got him. Hey, what's up? Already got a question coming in. How to engage users. We could talk about that. Not yet though. Not yet. Lydia, what's up? Good morning to you. Always great to have you, popping in. And, guys, do me a favor. While we're waiting for the feeds to go and, reach everyone, do me a favor. If you think, that someone would enjoy hanging out with us in the morning, let them know that we're on. Let them know that we're hanging out 10 a.m. Eastern time. And, just invite a friend. That's all I'm asking. Just invite a friend. Come on over, hang out with us, learn a little bit, inspire each other, motivate each other, and get out there and make a difference in the world, but also in our businesses and in our lives. So that's the goal here. Helene, what's up? Yo, let's get this action started. I like it, Helene. You seem pretty fired up this morning. Salama, what's up? Good morning to you. Jennifer, good morning. Walking this morning. Thanks for walking with me. Well, I appreciate you taking me. How far are we walking today? I already did my hill climb this morning, which was about 25 minutes, but I think I ended up doing about 3,500 steps, but it's about 27 flights, which is pretty crazy. So I'm always loving the flights. So Kay's in the house. What's up? What's up? All right, cool. So what we're going to do today is I am going to be really diving into this here, and that is the 3-prong traffic approach, the strategy that floods your website with visitors. Now, you guys know that you guys have, or those of you that have been hanging out with us, you always got to come up with good titles, good creative. It's all part of writing good copy for a Facebook ad, for a blog post, for an email. Well, that's what I try to do every day when we're writing these titles for these upcoming coffee talks. And today is the 3-prong traffic approach, the strategy that floods your website with visitors. Now, who doesn't want to flood their website with visitors, right? And whenever you talk about something like this, well, we're talking about it's a 3-prong approach, meaning there's 3 different things that we're able to kind of like tap into. And then if we use that, it can help us really take that one thing and really leverage it. And that's really what I want to do here. Now, I'm also speaking from experience here. I actually just looked at my analytics again this morning before I hopped on here. And the one piece of content that I'm really referring to right now was a piece of content that was written almost 10 and a half months ago now. And it's just starting to get some traction. But I'm going to share with you why and also how you can emulate this. Okay. And this is exactly the same strategy that we use every single time we're creating a piece of content that's seeding the market. So this way here, the market can then be led back to our website. That's ultimately what we want, right? We want to drive traffic, targeted traffic back to our website. We talked, when was it? Saturday? We talked about some more traffic stuff. Oh no, that was Friday. That was the jam session on Friday. We talked all about traffic. And this kind of just dives a little bit deeper in that. What I do want you to do though for me is while we are on here, if you would let me know if there's any other topics that you want me to drill into and focus a whole coffee talk on, just drop it in the comments and just let me know. If you're watching this on a replay, you can let me know in the comments. I'll still see it. So if you'll do that, that would be awesome. All right. So who doesn't want some traffic to their website? I do. I would love it, right? And we are getting it, and we're doing it in a variety of different brands, which is also cool because we get to test this in a variety of different markets. All right. So what we're talking about, and you guys that have been longtime Coffee Crew members, you guys know that I'm big on creating evergreen assets, right? And I'm going to keep talking about that until you guys get sick and tired of me of talking about it because it's so important. And I think we all agree that if you get the attention of the market, right, we bring them over to our website, we can do whatever we need to do on that website platform that we own. We can do anything we want there to try and test new things. We actually talked about that on Saturday, was really testing. But if we don't have the eyeballs, we don't have the attention, we can't test, right? So what I really want to do is I want to share this with you because I think if you understand the simplicity in it, but also by you doing this over and over and over again, it increases your chances for getting more traffic. All right. Now, a lot of people get hung up on making sure that it's perfect, making sure that the traffic number formula is exactly this, and this, right? I don't really get that technical. I'm a big believer in just getting started and starting to plant seeds, right? We can sit there and we can till the land and we can fertilize and then we can seed it, but why not just get it fertilized and seeded quick, right? Let's get it out there, right? The quicker we get it out there, the quicker we're going to be able to see the results. But it might take 6 months. It might take 10 months. There are ways we can speed that up, by the way. But the one example I'm sharing with you and that we followed here, and which is that 3-prong approach, is number one is we're always looking for what we call long tail keywords. Okay. Now, I would not recommend just being like, I think I'm just going to write an article on, I don't know, bass fishing, right? It's very generic. It's very, it's very broad, right? What about bass fishing am I going to be writing about, right? Maybe it's bass fishing lures. Like, okay, still not really a long tail, but it's better, right? How about bass fishing lures for pond, right? You see how we made that longer tail. There's going to be less competition for that in Google. And we're also directly speaking to someone searching for that exact query. Okay. Now, when you're building out your brand or your content around your product, because I get a lot of people say, Scott, I got this coffee mug and I want to sell this coffee mug. How do I do it? Well, first off, you got to figure out who's this coffee mug made for, right? So I wouldn't advise just making a mug, right? It would have to be for a specific reason. Maybe it's for someone that is, I don't know, maybe someone that's a business person that really likes stainless steel stuff. Again, that's kind of it's an odd market that I wouldn't really probably enter, but you get what I'm saying, right? So if someone is a business person, I wouldn't probably have maybe a ceramic mug, right? It would be more designer. It would be more sleek, right? Like in this case, I've got a wooden bottom and I've got this. So I could advertise that to someone that was a business person and they might resonate with it. But to make it even better, I wouldn't sell a coffee mug, number one. But if I did, what if I put something on here that was a message that called out to that market? So now I took something that, yes, the design could pertain to them, but the message now could speak to them. So now if that's the case, and I said, okay, now my content is going to be really going after the business person that is sophisticated, that works from home, has an office, but also believes in this message, or it speaks to their message, right? So I just drilled that down from just a generic coffee mug to where I'm trying to target a specific person, right? The bass fishing example is better because obviously if you're not into bass fishing, you're not going to even consider reading that article because you're not going to be searching for that article, right? So what I always do though is I'm trying to find the content that surrounds the thing, right? And the thing in this case, let's go to bass fishing again. It would be catching more bass, right? Or where are we catching more bass? Maybe in a pond. So now we've narrowed it down by going longer, right? So the first thing that we always want to do is go after long tail keywords. And that could be something like how to catch bass in a pond, right? A longer tail would even be this: how to catch bass in pond at night, right? So we're going to narrow it down, although I still can be found for how to catch bass in a pond, but now I just went a little bit longer, making it probably less search for, but more direct, right? So a lot of people discount that. They're like, well, it's only getting 50 searches a month. Number one, I wouldn't believe that number. Okay. The very first articles that we wrote on a couple of our brands that we're building inside of Brand Creators Academy, we didn't look at any data. We just go, that one there seems like that is something long tail that people are searching for, because when I do an auto suggest inside of Google, it pops up first, right? So I'm not even using a keyword tool. I'm using Google, right? And so that's it. And this one that we did, what was it, last August, we wrote that, one of our first ones. And just in the past month and a half, it started to show itself, meaning I started looking in the analytics, I started seeing it. And I'm like, okay, let's reverse engineer this. What is this? It's a long tail. It's very long. It's probably like this. Can you use rubber worms to catch bass? It's very long, but very specific, right? Very long, very specific. All right. So that's that. Okay. Can you use rubber worms to catch bass? Right. So now that you have this thing, this is a second part of this, by the way. The first part is identifying these long tails. Number one, identify the long tail. Okay. Number two, you're writing the content and you're placing it on your website. You're placing it on your home base. Okay. Now, you could use the same idea for going and doing it on YouTube. The reason why I like putting it on the website is because it's a property that we own. Okay. We own that property. I don't own YouTube. I don't own Google either. But guess what? If I put it on my website, it can get picked up by Google, Bing, Yahoo, and any other search engines out there. Now, does it get as much traffic? Does Yahoo get as much as Google? No, but it gets some, right? Does it get as much as Bing? No, it gets some, right? So I'm spreading out that reach on one piece of content, okay? So number one, long tail. You got to start with the long tail, okay? And there's so many different keywords that you could go after on the long tail, okay? And just again, I'm going to throw this out here because some of you may not have heard me say this in the past because you're new or whatever. And I talk about this a lot in the playbook, the Brand Creators Playbook, is you have to, okay, really find the pieces of content in the beginning that are all question-based. Question-based is going to be the easiest way for you to go out there and find long tail and start to rank pretty quickly, okay? It's just easier. And an example of that would be that one right there. Can you use rubber worms to catch bass? Because if I'm sitting there getting ready and I'm new at bass fishing, I want to use different types of things, right? So I'm going to go do I'm going to do a Google search. Can you use rubber worms to catch bass, right? So I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to look at the query and I'm going to go, it's going to lead me over to the website. I get led over to the website. I consume the information. While I'm there, I may see something else that catches my eye. I may see maybe on the sidebar, maybe it's a banner ad. Maybe I see another piece of content, says this content or related content to this piece of content. I get linked over to that piece. And that's where we do a lot of internal linking within our own site. But again, it starts with the long tail. So questions, how-tos, there's 3 different buckets. And then the third one is product based. Okay. And so we have 2 right now that are starting to really take off. I say taking off. We're getting about 2 to 3,000 visitors per month to these separate pieces of content. Just these two pieces, okay? Each one separately, by the way. So one of them is a question-based, one of them is a product-based. Well, with the product-based, we're able to now monetize that, meaning we can find a ClickBank product that aligns with it. We can find an affiliate product on Amazon or on Etsy or any other platform that offers an affiliate program. Or when they're on our website, we can get paid for the impression that's being displayed to our ad networks. Very, very simple, okay? So again, it starts with the long tail keywords, okay? I would spend some time there to fill that bucket of questions, how-tos, and product-based, long tail. Number two, writing content and placing it on the website. Now, a lot of people will say, Scott, how long does that content need to be? I'm going to pull a Chris Schaefer here. If you guys don't know Chris, he's part of our Brand Creators Academy and Brand Creators, writing a lot of blog posts over there. He's part of our team, but also just a huge advocate of creating great content. But he's also a big believer in saying, test it, or it depends. Anyway, side note, if you guys know Chris, you guys know what I'm talking about. So it does depend, right? How long? It needs to be as long as it needs to be to answer the question or give the proper information. Now, with that being said, I do have somewhat of a rule that I want to hit at least 1,500 words on my blog post, minimum, okay? Some will go 15, some will go 16, some will go 2,000. Now, there's other posts that I might say, this is a pillar post. I'm going to make that 3,000 to 5,000 because it's got more information, right? But again, I'm not going to get into that right now. But some people ask that question. I just want to throw it out there. So write the content and place it on the website or on your website. And then the third thing, and this is so easy now, and I wasn't doing this before, but it's part of our three-prong approach here. And that is, we are then planting additional seeds that are leading back to that content through Pinterest. Right now, we are actually going through our Pinterest traffic workshop, which isn't open to the public right now, but it may be in the future. But Brand Creators Academy members are going through that as well. But it's very simple, okay? You're creating these pinnable images that are then linking over to the blog post, okay? And then we're including them inside of our boards and we're including them inside of our account. And then from there, we're also including it on our website, supporting that post. So do you see what happened there? I have one piece of content that came from long tail keyword content, and then we're amplifying content. Now, you could also say, well, you could add a fourth. You could email your list if you have an email list and let them know about that piece of content. Yes, that would be great. Okay. You could create a YouTube video about that and then embed that video on the blog post. And then you're going to get more traffic from YouTube that can amplify that piece of content. But the number one thing that it was where it starts is the long tail. Okay. The long tail keywords are going to be the thing that you want to focus on. And then from there, you write the content, good content that supports what the long tail is, and it delivers the answer. And then you're amplifying that. And the simplest way to do it right now is with another evergreen asset, by the way, another evergreen asset. If you guys are new and you guys haven't heard me talk about evergreen assets before, it's something that you put out there once and it can get traffic for years to come. Okay. That's your evergreen asset. So in this case, a piece of content that resides on a website. We posted this last August. It did nothing for about 4 months, 5 months. And then it started getting like 10 visits. And then maybe, it got 100 visits. And now if you look at that graph, it's starting to pop. Okay. So part of that is we are also taking and amplifying it with Pinterest pins. Okay. So that's another way to get that over there. So again, I do believe if you follow this in whatever you're doing, even if you're doing YouTube alone and you're not even writing content, follow the long tail. The long tail, it's so specific. Even if your numbers are less, people all get like set and they need like an article or a video that gets thousands. You don't need that if it's really, really dialed in and if it's really, really targeted. So just always keep that in mind. It's not necessarily how many people, it's how targeted are those people. right? Because if someone was searching for black coffee mug and I came up with this black coffee mug, there's a better chance than if they just searched coffee mug, right? You get that. So same thing here. If someone was selling rubber worms to catch bass, five rubber worms to catch more bass. Five types of rubber worms to catch more bass. Do you think that if I'm searching for that, I'm looking to buy rubber worms? Probably, right? So you got to always think about the long tail, and you're being more targeted. You're being more specific. All right. So that's your 3-prong approach for this particular scenario. Okay. Long tail, written content, amplify with Pinterest. 3. Okay. And if you do that over and over and over again, you're dropping seeds. Those seeds can then be planted, but then also be grown. And then also they may not pop for 2 months, right? It might be one of those seeds that you plant and it doesn't take for, a couple months. It's fine, right? You planted it, move on to the next, plant it, move on to the next. Then, little side note here, you can go and look at your analytics and then go, oh, wait a minute here. What's that one? I forgot we wrote that one. That one's starting to take off. You go back to that one. You can rework it if you want. You can add products to that one. That's exactly what we just did recently, by the way. We had that one post, and it's getting about 2,100 visitors per month to that page. So what we did was we're like, okay, now that we have eyeballs, we got the traffic, we're indexed, we're getting search traffic. We should probably focus a little bit more on the product side there, because it is a product-based post. Right? So now we can make it a little easier for people to click on that product and highlight the product, right? So again, that's what we're doing. We're looking at the data, but we're looking at the data from seeds that we planted 3 months ago, 6 months ago. Okay. So guys, got any questions? That's what I got for you right now today. Let me see what we got here. I'm going to take a sip of coffee. Hey, Ashley, what's up? Good morning. Glad to have you. Let's see here. Tamara, what's up? Morning. Ready to rock my week? I am ready to rock my week too, and I'm glad that you're ready. Oh, Jennifer says just under 5 miles. Nice. Let's see here. Rebecca. Hey, everyone. Hey, Scott. What's up? Octavio in the house. Good morning, coffee crew. Love it. We might have to have some shirts made on that one. What's up, Mike Smiley? Always making me smile. Good morning. Derek's in the house. What's up? Representing Atlanta. Hey, David, what's up? Good vibes. Yes, good vibes for sure. Monday morning. Got him. I love traffic on my website. Yes, we all do. James, morning, late but here. Awesome. Glad to have you. Justin, you're usually the first viewer. That's funny. Good morning. Hey, Troy, what's up, man? Grace, hey, Scott, let me know what you think. So I have an example for my niche, which is organizing, how to organize kids' toys when you live in a small apartment. Okay. Well, I think number one, to create content on this, it would be you're targeting most likely, and I'm not singling out anybody, but most likely you are targeting moms, right? So you're going to probably want to look at how to organize kids' toys and then see what happens. I'm going to do that real quick here on the fly. Let's see if I can't do something here. So how to organize kids. Okay. So I just typed in how to organize kids and it popped up toys was your number one. Okay. And now if I go and add another one to that, let's see here. Okay. So here's what I found. Okay. How to organize kids' toys was number one. How to organize children's toys, not kids' toys, children's toys. How to organize children's toys that are everywhere you look. That's literally a long tail, by the way. How to organize your children's toys. Best way to organize children's toys. So see what I mean? Like we can go in a bunch of different ways or different directions to get to that topic. But which one is going to be the best? I don't know. I haven't done the hard research yet, but I'm just literally diving in here using Google and just using their auto suggest. I think that's interesting to look at this one here because it's so long tail. Oh, this is good too. How to organize children's toys that are everywhere you look. That one keyword, right? The number one search result comes up, Pinterest. Okay, someone's board came up for that. And then if I look down a little bit further, people, let's see here. Yeah, okay. So people also asked how to organize my children's toys. How do you organize kids' toys in living room? How do you organize toys in a small room? How do you organize too many toys, right? So you go through all of these. Now, the other site that comes up after the Pinterest one is housewifeshowtos.com. Okay, so that's a website that comes up first. The next one is, let's see, Good Housekeeping. It's a big site. Housebeautiful.com, iHeartPlanners, OneCrazyHouse.com. Let's see, MakingLemonadeBlog.com. And then if you go to the bottom, searches related are how to organize toys in playroom, how to organize too many toys, organizing toys in bedroom, how to organize toys in small living room, how to keep toys organized, organizing toys on budget, organizing child's room on a budget. So now I'm seeing a budget. So that's literally, guys, we spent less than 5 minutes. We already came up with ideas. So hopefully that helped you, Grace. Let's see, Derek, what spying tools or tools you use most for keyword research, and do you create keywords around a topic or a category? Yeah, well, I just kind of demonstrated it. Google, use Google. If you want like actual somewhat numbers, you look at Ubersuggest. That would be the one that I would look into, Derek. Let's see here. Do you use any tools for researching your competition? Ubersuggest, and what you do with Ubersuggest is what we can do is we can type in a URL, a website, and then from there we can see the content that's being created that's starting to rank, and then we can kind of reverse engineer that content. Let's see. How is that article ranking in the SERPs? What article? The one that I'm referencing? The article is ranking... let's see, is that article ranked? Yes, it is. That's how we're getting the traffic. It's ranking in Google. Sal, is it enough to start with writing one blog a week, or more is better? The best is what you can do consistently, one a week, right? If you're thinking to yourself, well, I don't really know if I'm going to be able to do 2 a week or 3 a week, do at least 1 a week. And if you get more in, great. In a perfect world, I would say, yes, more is better, more better quality content, just not throwing up crap, right? But yes, whenever you can have more, it's increasing your chances for ranking for miscellaneous keywords, right? So you got to think about every time that you write an article, it's another chance to be ranked. And not just for that one long tail, by the way, you're going to start to rank for a whole bunch of other keywords that are related to that keyword. Let's see here. What tool do you use for checking analytics? Google Analytics. It's free. Just install it on your website and then dive into some Google Analytics. Gotta love it. Salma, your favorite place to find questions apart from Google and answer the public? Those are it. Be honest with you. Ask your community if you have one. Ask your email list if you want to. The best place to start is right there in Google, or answer the public, or Ubersuggest. Right? You just go in there and start to drill in. When you wrote your own blogs, how long did it take you to write a blog? Now for me, because I'm not a good writer, or at least I don't think I am. I mean, I can write, but I'm just not good at it. I'm just not good at writing, period, but I do it when I have to. But I would say if I had to write something myself, I would say for a blog post, it's going to probably take me 3 to 5 hours overall, right? I'll do some research, right? Now, if I was the expert, like if I was writing about how to play guitar, it's going to be easier for me because I can just basically do it, right? Like I can just, and I would probably record myself sharing what I want to share, and then I would have it transcribed, and then I would edit it. That would be my shortcut. But we have most of our stuff written. So we hire writers that are good writers that can do the research. Think about having someone that's in high school or college have to do a term paper, and they have to do the research, and then they have to put together the term paper. It's the exact same thing. And it doesn't have to be that expensive. At what point should you hire content writers? I would say if you can write yourself, do it, but because you want to know the process. But I would say as soon as you can. That's just going to make it easier for you to have that part done, and then the optimization and then the posting you're going to do. You can have that done too, but I would do it myself in the beginning. How many blogs does it take to get consistent traffic to your website? Well, I think what you mean, how many blogs, I think you mean how many articles, because you don't want multiple blogs running because that's going to slow you down. But I would say, again, Chris Schaefer, it depends. But I would say if you do consistent posting, once a week, you should see traffic within 3 months to 4 months. Now, if you're adding the Pinterest thing to it, which I believe, Salama, you're going through the workshop, you will see that quicker, I believe. Now, you can't guarantee it, but getting Pinterest traffic is going to be faster than it is to get an article ranking. Now, again, if you go long tail, and we've had some articles that rank within a week, but it's going long tail and not worrying about it getting thousands of searches a month, having it get 100 searches a month, maybe, right? Yeah, no problem, Grace. Hopefully that helped you. Rebecca, how do I go about finding more long tail keywords in Google using questions example, how to plus main keyword without knowing the question in the first place and looking for new ideas? Well, you could just type in, if you went to like answer the public and you just type in bass fishing and then let it go ahead and add the pre or the extension, right? You can have it do it that way. The other way is once you just start going through this process, like even just going into Google, they're going to give you other questions that were asked, right? So that's how you would do that. But I would almost guarantee, Rebecca, that you probably have so many questions that you're not even thinking of yet because you didn't start going down that research road yet. And I think it's important that you go down that road because it's going to start opening up different avenues for you. But you got to get started doing that. Pat, what's up? How do you know how competitive keyword is? Well, first off, if you use Ubersuggest, and I've done this in the past, and I can do another coffee talk on this and show you guys. But you can look at the sites that are ranking for that keyword already, and then you can see like their site authority, their domain score, as they say. And if you see the whole page is dominated by sites that are just like huge websites, then it's probably a very competitive keyword. But if you go long tail, you'll find some that people are ranking that don't have high domain authority. That means that you probably can do the same. If you do a search and you see like forums coming up, that's a pretty good chance that you could outrank them because forums are just being plugged in there because Google can't find anything else that's close. So there's some ways that we can do it, but in the very beginning, to be honest with you, I don't go to that extreme. I'm just like, would my market benefit from this search? And if so, is this the type of person that I want to arrive at my website? Like that's it, right? And so I would say if you're coming up with an article that's, can you use rubber worms to catch bass? That makes sense, right? Because you know that there's probably people searching for that, right? And then from that, it's going to also bring in more content creation ideas and questions because you're going down that path. But it starts by doing that research. How would you use videos to enhance this 3-prong strategy? I would add that in. So I would add the video as a support piece for the blog post. So I would create a video that also reiterates what you went through in that article. And then I would then have that reside over on YouTube, and then I would embed it on the blog post. That's how I would do that. Should I write content to go out daily or weekly? What can you do consistently, Derek? That's the question. I would start with 1 per week. And I would also create that date that you're going to be publishing every single week. And I'd make it a point that, you need to make sure that goes out and that needs to get posted every single week consistently. It's all about consistency. Do you have to know your eventual offer to decide on topics for your articles? No, you just need to know your market. You need to know that your market that you're going to be serving. Like if you're serving the bass fishing world, you don't need to know that you're going to be selling fishing lures because you want to launch a fishing lure line, right? You don't need to know that. You just need to know that you're serving that market with content that you know that there's a bunch of products that they would be interested in, right? And that's exactly, again, guys, what I cover inside of this guy, okay? All of our Brand Creators Academy members get this, okay? So brandcreatorsbook.com if you want to check it out if you haven't grabbed a copy yet. But basically, we need to validate all of that stuff first. Once we validate it, then we can go ahead and start creating that content, because once we get them over there, the monetization part comes last, right? So it's market, okay? We got to establish the market. We got to validate the market is there. Make sure they have traffic. Make sure that there's ways that we can monetize because they're buying stuff, right? And then from there, we need to figure out our platforms that we're going to use. Website is my home base. I want to always start there, right? And then after that, then we can start thinking about email list if we want to build one of those, right? To add more, more attention to our website and get traffic quicker. And then from there, we can talk about monetization. There's things in between there, but those are the core, right? We need to market validate first. Okay. Derek, now I see these so-called gurus are making things harder than what they actually are. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know, Derek, who they are. I don't really want to know because I don't really care at this point, just because I don't think we need to focus on that. We need to focus on what we can do, you and me and all of us. How have you found your current brands that you are building? A lot of it is just being aware. There's one right now that I want to build, but I'm not going to because I know it's going to take my attention away from what I'm working on currently, right? So sometimes you can get too many ideas, but the way that I always do it is, what am I interested in right now? Or what has someone brought to my attention that I had no idea even was a thing, right? And then I'm like, I got to go check this out. And then that's how I would look at that. So that's pretty much how it's always happened for me. It's like, if I'm having an in-ground pool put in, right? And I notice that I'm asking a lot of questions myself, or I'm doing a lot of research myself, that will lead me to start looking at the swimming pool market, right? Which I'm not going into that market. I actually had, the owner of Swim University on, who I used his site as an example. And then someone had told him about it. And then his name is Matt. And then I ended up getting him on the podcast, which was a pretty fun interview, which he gets over 7 million visitors a month, by the way, doing multiple 6 figures in just affiliate revenue, which is crazy. Let's see here. Rebecca, do you recommend readers' comments in the blog? No, I don't anymore. It used to be a thing. Now it's like Facebook is kind of like, that's where people converse. It also can make your website look like it's not visited because there's no comments. I would turn them off personally. Do some days work better for publishing blogs in your niche? No, just consistency. Any day, any hour. Because here's the deal. It's not about when it publishes. It's that it's published and now it can be indexed. That's what you got to always keep in mind. I don't care if it's Sunday night at 10:30 p.m. Eastern time. I don't care, because that doesn't matter. It's not like everyone in the world is going to hear that you posted a blog post. It's that it's there. The seed has been planted. Now, Google's robots are going to be always out there indexing things, indexing. And then boom, they're going to find yours, and then they're going to index it. It may start out where it's within the, I don't know, maybe the 300th search. And then it's going to start moving up if you've done your optimization right as well, which we don't have time to go into that here today. I do cover that in the playbook as well, but I've talked about it here in the coffee talks. It's very simple, but you do have to follow like a somewhat of an SEO optimization strategy, which is like a good title, good tags, not tags that are on the site, but like H1, H2, H3 tags, and a well-written article that supports the title. Excuse me. So that's it pretty much in a nutshell. What do you think about white label products? I think what you mean is like taking a product and then just rebranding it with your name, because they'll allow you to do that. I think it's fine if it makes sense. Again, every situation's a little bit different. But the biggest thing is like, okay, white label product. You're starting with a product And then you're like, okay, I got to get attention. How do I get attention? Well, I can either go run a whole bunch of Facebook ads and try to get that to work and spend a lot of money, or I can start planting seeds in content that's related to this product and 20 other products that I don't have to source, I don't have to figure out yet, and I can go ahead and just start getting the attention and the eyeballs. That's where I would start. So I wouldn't necessarily, I like the idea. I mean, drop shipping. I'm not a fan of drop shipping, but it works in some markets, right? So would I be opposed to doing drop shipping? No, I would do it if it made sense, if the margins were good, and if I had the attention. Because if I have the attention, I don't care that there's 30 other people promoting that same product, because I've got the attention here on my hub, on my home base, right? So whenever I have the attention, we can slide in and out offers all day long, and we can test things. That's why I did talk the other day about basically testing things, because it's really, really important. All right. So guys, I think I answered all of your questions here on this. Do you guys have anything you want me to talk about in an upcoming coffee talk? If you do, drop it in the comments down below and we can do that. I should probably put this up here as well. Let's see. brandcreatorsbook.com. If you guys have not grabbed a copy, this is everything that we follow. Everything that I really talk about, even here, is related back to this right here. So if you guys have not grabbed a copy and you want to grab a copy, I do recommend you printing it out. If you already grabbed a copy, you know what I would love for you to do? I would love for you to do this. I'm looking to get some little mini testimonials about this guy. And so if you would take a picture of yourself holding it, okay, if you printed out a copy, holding it, and then sending me either a video or just something about it with your picture and how it's helped you, what you think about it, that would be amazing. If you could do that, if you've already grabbed a copy, that would be awesome. But I think that pretty much wraps it up for today. But if you are watching this on YouTube, I am going to drop a playlist right here with all the past coffee talks. And what that's going to do for you is it's going to make it easy for you to go right now. If you're struggling with something or you need help on one area of your business, whether it's content creation, lead magnets for emails, whatever, go back through. I'll put it in the description too. Go through the playlist and pick something out and go through it and then take action on it. Like, just go through it, consume it, and then take action on it. I do not want you to go through all the coffee talks right now. I don't want you to spend the next 3 days doing that. I want you to basically take something and learn from it and then put it into action. So that's your action step. All right. Again, I will put it in the description below, the playlist as well. So let's see here. Last little question here that popped in. Okay, Derek says, we need to talk more on content and traffic, best practices for website. Okay, cool. We can totally do that. Derek, if you gave me maybe a specific question that we can kind of drill into a little bit more, that might be helpful as well, because we can go in 100 different directions on content and traffic. So if you have any other questions on that, let me know. Give me a little bit more direction. All right, guys. So that is it. That's going to wrap up this little coffee talk. We'll be back here tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern time. And until then, take care, take action, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys. Have an awesome day.